There is a saying that friendship is friendship, business is business. It appears China means it as it expresses concern over cash-strapped Pakistan's unpaid dues. A Chinese state-owned power company has asked Pakistan to immediately release Pakistan Rupees 12.35 billion, that is $68.9 million as transmission service payment, according to reports. Welcome to Kaumudy Global, and let us go into the details of these reports. The China Electric Power Equipment and Technology Corporate Limited and State Grid Corporation of China, registered in Pakistan as Pak Mathiari Lahore Transmission Company Private Limited or PMLTC, has written to Pakistan Energy Minister Muhammad Hamad Azhar. In the letter, it explained to him that the company had received only rupees 8.75 billion, that is $48.82 million of the total amount billed to the National Transmission and Dispatch Company. It said that the unpaid amount of rupees 12.35 billion needs to be cleared by March 24, 2022 to avert a default under the facility agreement between PMLTC and the lender China Development Bank. PMLTC is part of the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor or CPEC, a collection of ongoing infrastructure projects across the South Asian country with a total value of $62 billion. The company also explained how important is payment for the Chinese government and the embassy and asked Pakistan to give this matter a top priority. This development comes following a 3-day visit of Pakistan's Prime Minister Imran Khan to China in February. Islamabad had paid $28 million to Chinese independent power producers days before Khan's visit to the communist country. Media reports claim that China is now reluctant to put in new funds under the CPEC arrangement until issues faced by Chinese investors are resolved and previous agreements are fully honored by the Pakistani government. It is learned that Beijing has voiced its concerns about the non-payment of power dues for some time, including at the highest level during Prime Minister Imran Khan's visit to Beijing last month. Last September, during the 10th Joint Cooperation Committee of the CPEC, Ning Zita, Vice Chairman of the National Development and Reform Commission, appealed to Pakistan to step up the payment of $1.4 billion owed to operators of independent power projects under CPEC for the electricity they have supplied. Ning also asked Islamabad to ensure CPEC projects were completed on time, resolve its own project funding issues, reconsider increased taxes on the power generation companies, and increase incentive for Chinese companies to set up shop at CPEC special economic zones. As many as 10 energy projects worth $10 billion have been completed under the CPEC, while 4 power projects costing $4.7 billion are near completion. Official circles in Islamabad claim that the previous Nawaz Sharif government had badly managed agreements with the Chinese and Chinese independent power producers. They say the power purchase agreements or PPA were based on flawed calculations of fuel mix components that have made the country dependent on imported fuels for power generation. Meanwhile, Pakistan is in deep financial crisis with the budget deficit widening to an all-time high of $24 billion, the trade deficit to $31 billion, and the current account deficit expected to touch $31 billion by the end of June this year. In such a situation, the Pakistani government had proposed to renegotiate the PPAs with Chinese IPPs operating under the CPEC, similar to what has been done with domestic power producers. The Pakistani government believed that if the agreements are successfully renegotiated, the country would save $14.29 billion on electricity costs over the life period of the newly built plants. However, China turned down this proposal during the September Joint Coordination Committee meeting on CPEC, and Pakistan had to give written assurance that it would not reopen $15 billion deal of energy projects under the CPEC.